I am Iron Man.
When Marvel announced Robert Downey Jr. as Iron Man in 2008, Hollywood laughed. This wasn't a superstar. This was a man with a rap sheet, a reputation for chaos, and a career in ashes. Studios saw him as uninsurable, a liability. But Marvel saw something else. And what happened next would not just save Downey's life, it would redefine modern cinema forever. The Prodigy. Born into Hollywood, growing up with Robert Downey Sr., a cult filmmaker, and a childhood surrounded by drugs. By the age of 6, Robert had already appeared on screen. By the age of 8, he had already been introduced to drugs by his own father. Stardom and self-destruction were written into his childhood. Breakthrough roles, from less than 1987, as a drug addict, eerily close to real life, to critical acclaim in Chaplin, 1992. Downey wasn't just good, he was brilliant. Chaplin earned him an Oscar nomination, cementing him as one of Hollywood's brightest young actors. But behind the scenes, his addictions deepened. Early cracks. Despite talent, his reputation for being unreliable began growing. Hollywood whispered about his drug problem, but no one yet realized just how far he'd fall. The fall. The arrests begin. The infamous 1996 incident.
And being arrested, which is too sad, such a bright person, and he's not a criminal. He's a victim of the drugs.
Downey driving naked through LA with cocaine, heroin, and a .357 Magnum. In one of the most surreal Hollywood stories ever, Downey was arrested driving naked, high, with drugs and a gun. It was a tabloid dream, and the beginning of a nightmare that would last years. Cycle of jail and rehab. Multiple arrests between 1996–2001. Constant relapses. The shocking moment when he broke into a neighbor's home and passed out in their child's bed. Each time, judges gave him chances. Each time, he relapsed. Downey wasn't just sabotaging his career, he was sabotaging his life. Losing everything, dropped from Ally McBeal despite winning a Golden Globe. Insurance companies refused to cover him, making him unemployable. Hollywood turned its back. By the early 2000s, Robert Downey Jr. wasn't a star anymore. He was a warning. The redemption. The wake-up call. 2001 arrest, almost 3 years in rehab and jail. Meeting Susan Levin on the set of Gothica, 2003, would change everything. Susan told him straight, if he didn't get clean, she wouldn't stay. For once, Robert had more to lose than just a role. He had found love worth fighting for. The comeback grind, small roles in films like Kiss Kiss Bang Bang, 2005, and Zodiac, 2007. Critical darlings, but not yet box office proof. Directors who trusted his talent began giving him chances. Each time, he delivered. Slowly, Hollywood remembered why they loved Robert Downey Jr. The Marvel gamble. In 2006, Marvel needed an actor to launch their risky new cinematic universe. They wanted someone flawed, cocky, but deeply human. Against every piece of advice, they chose Downey. For Marvel, it was a gamble. For Robert, it was his last shot. If he failed, there would be no comeback. If he succeeded, he would make history. The rise as Iron Man. Iron Man, 2008. Directed by Jon Favreau, largely improvised, carried by Downey's charisma. The movie opened in May 2008. Overnight, Robert Downey Jr. wasn't just back, he was a superhero. Iron Man made $500 million and launched the Marvel Cinematic Universe. From liability to billion-dollar face, 10-plus years as Tony Stark, appearing in blockbusters that grossed more than $14 billion worldwide. The man Hollywood once refused to insure became the single most valuable actor of his generation.
My dirty secret is I'm not actually all that good.
And personal redemption, marriage to Susan, becoming a father, staying.
Are you Avery? You're a pretty girl. Yes. Are you happy?
Clean for decades, turning his greatest flaw into his greatest strength, vulnerability. Downey had lived Tony Stark's story in real life, from reckless playboy to collapse to redemption. Legacy. Robert Downey Jr. was Hollywood's biggest risk, and he became its greatest redemption story. He didn't just save himself, he built an empire. And when he finally snapped his fingers as Tony Stark, ending his Marvel run, it wasn't just the story of a superhero. It was the story of Robert Downey Jr. proving the world wrong.